quickly, and Gukesh just resigns.
Yep.
And now we're entering adoption territory.
Yep.
That wasn't fair. Gukesh never got off the ground on the king side. Like, he got his knight to g3. He did everything you're supposed to do, Danny. He made all the right moves, pressed all the right buttons, and then his attack just evaporated.
Yeah. Yep. Well, it is harder to launch those King's Indian attack positions, those style positions against a Fianchetto structure, and Magnus knew that, right? That h7, g6. I mean, I don't want to get too abstract because it's not on the board anymore, but just your comments made me think in my head, going full chess player. Never go full chess player on a chess show. Robert Downey Jr. taught me that. Never go full chess player. But in my full chess player mode, the problem is, Danya, those types of attacks for white are much stronger in a traditional King's Indian attack where, let's say, black's bishop is on e7, right? The Fianchetto structure is hard to attack with that type of formation, and we saw that Gukesh never really got anything there.
No, you're absolutely right. And Magnus just kind of going away from theory with this move a3, stopping the bishop from developing to b4, and now he Fianchettos, which is very popular now in all e6 Sicilians, to Fianchetto the light squared bishop and just get a Sicilian that's more on the positional side.
Yep. Alexander Ivanov preferred these positions as a kid growing up in the you know what I'm talking about. Couple of kids growing up in the American chess circuit, right? Goichberg tournaments weren't healthy for anybody, let's be honest. But Alexander Ivanov, a grandmaster who played a lot of these structures. You can also play them with a4 for white. This is, as Don just said, it's positional. You still strive at times for the traditional. Here he goes. He goes back to a4. You can go for f4 at some point. The Scheveningen structure with the Fianchetto setup for white is often very solid.
And Magnus just understands every type of position. It literally doesn't matter what you throw at him. He will know the typical plans and the typical ideas in literally every opening and every sub-variation. Something that we also take for granted, by the way, but something which is exceedingly rare, even at the highest level, to know as many patterns and as many ideas as Magnus knows. It's like a restaurant where the menu encompasses every single cuisine, and the chef, is the best chef in the world at, whatever cuisine you want. It's crazy.
There you go.
I don't know where that came from. That was
out of left field. Restaurant. I'm hungry with a lot of options. I'm thinking Cheesecake Factory. I don't know what you're doing afterward.
I love Cheesecake Factory. Except there's only one of them here, and the line extends to South Carolina. So,
all right, but we see this little maneuver. The knight goes from b5 to d4, followed by a double Fianchetto setup. It's a very easy position for white to play. And, again, to give our boy Robert Hess a shout out, we often look at the pawn breaks. It's hard for black to play d5 here, which is often a strike you want in a Sicilian because that bishop on g2 is primed and holding it. You can't play for a6 and b5, even though you'd like to. That's also a typical Sicilian break. But white's ahead of the game with a4, holding it back. Maybe even c4 is going to come here for Magnus. So
it is.
Again, you're highlighting it, and I'm just pointing out that this is a tough position because black's got pieces that look okay, but where's the breakthrough? Where do we give them some liberty?
No, this is just a buzzsaw kind of position. Rook from a1 coming to d1. Magnus opting for the bishop pair, which makes, the bishop on g2 is not the greatest piece in the world, but it's a solid bishop. It's protecting e4. e5 could come at an inopportune moment. Not yet, because black will push d5, and that transformation is in black's favor, but Magnus holds all the pawn breaks. I think he's going to drop his bishop back to b2 and maybe launch a kingside attack. There he goes.
h4 is a way to do that too. h4 is the alpha 0 special. You advance that pawn, poke and prod a little bit. It'll come back to bite your opponent. I love your bishop
PNP.
b2. Go ahead.
PNP, poke and prod. No,
poke and prod.
I'm just saying what you said.
All day. Every day we shuffle. Okay, now we have a hedgehog without the Fianchetto bishop for black. I don't know that I like a5. I like b5 quickly from Gukesh, even if it's not correct. I like the speed. By the way, he's up on the clock for the first time, and well, it's been a minute according to my watch since Gukesh was ahead on the clock.
What did you just say?
As I say that,
I actually think this idea of going a5 by Magnus is very instructive. I think he's going to go c4 and try to play against this a6 pawn, which he's fixed as a long-term weakness. But in order to get access to it, he has to eliminate the b5 pawn, which is, of course, its pawn cover. Yeah. So I think c4 is on the menu here, just to continue my restaurant analogy. c3.
Ooh,
wait, he wanders the pawn on b3.
That's a pawn.
That is a pawn. Give me that.
Take it, Gukesh.
That might have been a mouse. That might have been a mouse slip, actually.
Like he meant to play c4?
I mean, And Gukesh took a while there. Just
Look at that.
Is that too good to be true?
That'll wake you up. You see that?
Oh, whoa.
No, he literally just went like, WTF? Why the face? As in case kids didn't know, that's what it means. Why the face?
Why the face?
Why the face? WTF?
Yeah, I used to think it means like FTW is for the win. I used to think it means win the 4. It's just like a typo.
You are about as adorable as.
I also thought Mississippi was a person, but C4.
What is
Magnus
going on? He's imploding. Magnus is falling apart here.
Yeah,
and
what is he doing?
He's like shakes his head. He's laughing it off now because he took a position with
Bishop
all
D4,
the moves into a lost endgame.
0-1, and he's going to lose a piece too. He blundered a piece on top of everything else.
Yeah, bishop. Let's just show, or we'll just in your head or show rook d4, bishop d4.
Well,
the bishop
showing
on
it on the
d6
board.
is hanging.
And if you go bishop e7, then Gukesh should go rook to d7 here.
And if rook d3, bishop f2. It happened.
Goodbye.
It's over.
Wow.